Welcome in to DC On Screen, a podcast about the DC properties being brought to film and television. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This be my co-host, Jason.
Hey, yeah.
And we're going to talk about stuff today.
Lots of stuff.
We're going to talk about lots of stuff happened this week.
It did.
All right. Can we talk about Injustice 2?
Oh, please. Yeah, If you want to do a pitch about it, go for it. But I'm just going to go ahead and say how badly I want that game right now.
Right. They released 2 trailers. There was the announcement trailer that's like The Flash versus Superman versus Batman versus Supergirl.
They go in and out of the pit, and every time
it looks really good.
Different,
right?
Evolved.
Yeah. It looks really good.
Oh, it looks fantastic.
They also released an official gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I did not know this about Injustice 2.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's a gear system that will follow RPG-like mechanics, and players will be rewarded with specific or character-specific loot drops every time they play the game, which will not only change the look of each character, but will also change fighting strategies.
Yeah, I haven't been clear about how that's going to be handled, how it's going to be executed, but what we do know about it is, like, Injustice 1, you were your guy, and you could change skins and everything, but you did your guy, and you beat the crap out of other guys. That was it. This one, they're focusing on the multiplayer aspect a little bit, so you're going to be able to change up your gear. That's going to actually affect your fighting. So, like, there's a reason everyone has an exoskeleton. Like in the hype trailer, I'll call it. There's probably a real word, but hype. That's the reason they focus so much on the fact that even Superman gets armor.
Right.
What that could possibly do for him is beyond me, but even he gets armor in this thing. So
we see Superman with the armor. We see like Flash's armor morphing onto him. We see Batman's armor morphing onto him.
Turn into pretty much Arkham Knight.
If you look at the official gameplay trailer, like you can see that happening with like Gorilla Grodd, Atrocitus, and Batman.
Everybody. Apparently, the whole smorgasbord of characters are going to be able to be upgradable, and that's going to be able to stick. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if that's something you're going to have to hop on and pay for, or if it's something where it's you play X amount of time and you're available for. I don't know I don't know how they're going to actually disseminate it, but
It'll probably just be DLC stuff, It will be available on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in 2017. Mm-hmm. Man, some of these, if anyone who played Injustice, Gods Among Us knows, like there's the super moves were just always really badass. Man, this looks really badass as well, even more badass. Man, Aquaman, like, throwing the dude up from like the whirlpool, and like stabbing him with the trident, and then the shark comes out and eats him.
It wasn't even like awesome. A shark; it was some freaking megalodon. Like it was. That was some ancient shit from the depths.
It's wonderful. Pretty badass. We've got some shit with like Batman. Like I don't know, catapulting someone up into the air and shooting him with a bat plane.
Yeah.
All of it looks real fun. Speaking of fun Batman games...
Oh, by the way, the new characters
series.
on that. The new characters on that so far were like Atrocitus, Gorilla Grodd, Supergirl. Those are the only 3 I remember seeing from the gameplay trailer.
There's also Jason Smith on Facebook. I meant to mention this before I jumped on. Said Dex stars with Atrocitus in the footage. I wonder if he will be involved with one of Atrocitus' super moves. Also, this pic was posted on Twitter. From the symbols, looks like Captain Cold and Dr. Fate will be in it. It's a guy with a shirt on, and it totally looks like he has like a Captain Cold gun. Nice. There's definitely a Dr. Fate helmet.
And those may just be the what'd they call them? I forget what they were actually called. You could punch somebody through a wall and it'd be a transition scene. There's one scene in there where it's clearly Black Mana, and that just felt like an Aquaman transition scene, but still, it sounds great.
Yeah, now, Ed Boon, Ed Boon, the guy that created Mortal Kombat that's running NetherRealm.
That old lovely bastard.
Yeah, I mean, that's the company doing this game.
Yeah.
He seemingly hinted at Dr. Fate on Twitter. Like, he wrote Fate in all caps. He's like, decide your fate or something. And then everyone was like, oh, Dr. Fate. And he was like, I didn't say. He acted all coy about it. He was like, I didn't say it was Dr. Fate.
That'd be great. They've needed...
Now, he also put up a poll. He put up a poll that said, who do you want to see more in Injustice 2, Blue Beetle, Captain Cold, or Swamp Thing? They were pretty closely tied. Like, Blue Beetle won. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they're all gonna be.
Yeah, all of those sound fantastic. Like
game.
Swamp Thing, there's so much fun you could have with his character. It'd just be you'd have a field day coming up with moves for that cat, right? Blue Beetle though, do they mean Jaime Reyes or Ted Kord? Because I want Jaime Reyes. I mean, I love Ted Kord, but Reyes would be so much more fun to watch on screen.
I don't know. He didn't say.
Oh,
I'll tell you what though.
Or both.
I'm pretty sure. We'll get. I'm pretty sure we'll get all three of those. I think that just probably determined what order the DLC were going to be dropped.
Yeah, that was fall, spring, and summer is pretty much what they were organizing there.
I mean, you guys, man, Jason and I used to just sit around daydreaming about the next DLC on Injustice. We played that hardcore for a long time.
I mean, we got it on pre-order. It showed up, the day it was released on our freaking doorstep, and we, I mean, just we're sitting there just playing through the damn story, which was a great story, by the way, and playing through the damn thing, just enjoying the hell out of ourselves. Found out we could do that little battles where everybody got their own little ending and all that. We're just playing, enjoying, sitting there geeking out about like, oh man, what if like Martian Manhunter? And sure enough, you get the DLC, and guess who shows up?
Yeah.
Oh man. And I talked to some guys who were really absurdly good at this game. Who they told me at some point when Batgirl came out, they just owned the rest of the universe, because I don't know what it was that was misweighted about her, but there was a few of her stats apparently were off. So if you knew how to do her correctly, you could just absolutely own the rest of the multiplayer universe. Because I don't know, I ran into a couple guys that those like Star Labs things where we would sit there and try for like 3 days to get one of them right.
Yeah,
I literally was talking to guys who were like, dude, there was like 10 minutes. You want me to come over and beat it for you real quick? Are you kidding me? How do you make it through an entire battle without ever getting hit by a batarang? How? We've still never done
kryptonite batarangs.
Yes. We were not good enough gamers to pull that off. I literally had a guy scoff at me like, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty easy. So I'm sorry. You're a better man than I am. I don't know.
Congratulations on your hand-eye coordination, dick.
Right.
I'm going to go watch cartoons.
Right. Watch cartoons and scribble in bad handwriting about how much I like them.
Right. Okay, moving on to another video game that has been trending a lot because they released screenshots. Batman, the Telltale series, we talked about this earlier in the year. They have released screenshots. It looks really cool, man. It looks like a comic book come to life. It's like reminds me of Tim Bradstreet art. Anyway, it apparently features the voices of
weird, almost rotoscoped look to it.
Yeah. It has the voices of Troy Baker as Batman, Laura Bailey as Selena Kyle, Ian Reitel as Alfred Pennyworth, Murphy Geyer as James Gordon, Travis Willingham as Harvey Dent, Aaron Yvette as Vicky Vale, and Richard McGonigal as Carmine Falcone.
Continuing a long tradition of us screwing up names.
Yay! Here's what the Telltale Games CEO and co-founder Kevin Bruner had to say about the latest video game here. We've been hard at work at Telltale, creating an all-new iteration of the iconic Batman story that puts players in the suit of billionaire Bruce Wayne just as much as it will put them behind the mask, deciding how to carefully navigate a complex drama rich with action, crime, corruption, and villainy lurking around every corner of Gotham City. The complex life and fractured psyche of Bruce Wayne has lent itself to becoming a bold evolution of the signature Telltale role-playing experience, and we couldn't be more excited as we prepare to debut the series to players across the world this summer. It will be available for PC, Mac, and mobile devices and game consoles in the form of a special Season Pass disc, which will be released later this summer.
Nice.
It looks pretty good.
And are they? By the way, do you know if they're planning a whole series on this?
I don't. I think they're just doing the one, and they'll probably do more.
Run it out there, see how it goes.
Really successful. Sure.
Same as normal. And the Rocksteady series. I've lost track. Weren't they going to do a something that was supposed to follow Origins and the Rocksteady series?
They are. They're supposed to, yeah.
Okay. So that's going to be two different...
Apparently they're also working on like a Superman and a Wonder Woman and a Suicide Squad.
Oh.
From what I hear.
Oh. The video game gods are kind. And if it happens, it'll be, to date, the first good Superman game that has ever existed.
Right. I was about to say, the the video game gods should be kind. We had our trial and our tribulation. We wandered through the desert for 40 years looking for a good video game.
I never actually played Superman 64, but I know that having said those words, a few people are like reaching for medication right now. Just groping for anxiolytics. Mm-hmm. So confusing. Right, it seems like such a workable thing. I don't know why it hasn't worked. I think Telltale Games does have a trailer up on their website.
Ooh.
It's not showy. It's no gameplay. It's the hype trailer.
Oh.
Hype trailer.
Hype trailer.
Or whatever the term is I'm
man.
supposed to be using for that. It looked fun, and it seems like it's focusing on the... they're focusing a lot on the fact that it is going to be kind of drawn. Like they're focusing on the fact that, no, these were images we're bringing to life. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get into live action and movie and TV news stuff, and then after that, some animated news, so stick around. Woo. Really cool animated news coming up. We are sponsored by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear for less than $20 a month. You get 6 to 8 items that includes licensed gear, apparel, collectibles, one-of-a-kind items, and more. You have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific to subscribe and receive that month's crate, and when the cutoff happens, that's it.
It doesn't happen.
You are finished. It doesn't happen. So go on over to lootcrate.com/giant size team up and enter the code giant size team up to save $3 off on any new subscription. That's any new subscription. However, their primary theme this month is they're doing dystopia.
Dystopia? Yeah, that's right.
They're doing stuff with RoboCop, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, The Matrix, BioShock Infinite, and Fallout 4. We've got a figure, cool collectibles, and of course the monthly tea. So if you want to check that out, go on over to lootcrate.com/giant size team up and get y'all shit, yo.
Yeah.
It's a good deal. I wish I had room for more Loot Crate.
No. But if you've looked around your life and thought, I don't have anything signifying my love for BioShock Infinite. What have I done? What have I done with my life? Well, for $20,
at your shelves,
you got this hooked up.
Look, less than $20 because it's like $3 off with us.
There you go.
Like, look at your shelves. If you don't have a RoboCop somewhere,
just the one.
It's all been for naught.
Yeah. We're not saying you need a tiny Neo, because a tiny Neo just looks like a weird dude in a duster.
That's true.
It's not very definitive.
But
a tiny RoboCop is very definitive.
Maybe you need to know Kung Fu.
Maybe.
All right, so moving on to some movie news. We got some BVS Ultimate Edition news.
Okay. Just when you think you're out of that news cycle.
I know, right? A fan asked Larry Fong, Batman v Superman's cinematographer, if the aspect ratio was going to change for the IMAX scenes, because in the Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises Blu-rays, when it goes to IMAX, the aspect ratio changes on your Blu-ray. He says, sadly, no. Parentheses, not my decision. He's like, that said pre-order today. Right. So, Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition leaked.
Oh, hold on. That wasn't the only thing Larry Fong said this week.
Oh, I know. I'm coming to that.
Okay, all right. Just making sure. It was actually very inspiring. Go forth, good sir.
Right. But BVS, the Ultimate Edition, did leak online.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparently in SD only. But yeah.
And I haven't looked, and I didn't even search to. Is it a rip leak or a shitty leak that might as well be in SD anyway?
Apparently, it's like on Cinema Now and Flickster.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, apparently it did leak, and there are a ton of spoilers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some really interesting little bits, because I read them, because I don't care. I've seen the movie. I just, Here's the one thing I will say. I won't get into spoilers for the thing.
Sure.
But this was very, this made me happy. Mm-hmm. Someone wrote, the major difference is that 95% of the flow issues are resolved. From a story standpoint, the Africa scenes, Clark's investigation into Batman, Lex's manipulating of Clark, and Lois's investigation leading to Lex are much clearer. But it's essentially the same story otherwise. So far, it's not that different. The pacing is much better already, though I'm only like 50 minutes in. Scenes last longer, so it's not so choppy. It's the same movie, so it's not like a radically different experience.
It will be for some people if all that's true.
Yeah.
And they actually kind of, give it an open shot, which
I
would just
if you're
suggest
a person
anyone
like
do.
us and can intimate things without
we did a lot of headcanon to pull it in. And the thing is, like, we did headcanon to pull in, like, well, I think this happened. We're either about to be validated or forsworn. I don't know which one's going to happen.
Right.
It may be that we watch this and go, oh, I knew that would be there. I knew they must have filmed that. I knew they couldn't have written that script without including something around that. And it may be that we watch this and go, we've trusted the wrong person. Do you think I can get this in Snyder We Trust bumper sticker off my car?
Yeah.
What do you use? Fingernail polish or remover?
Yeah. Last week, Larry Fong, cinematographer for BBS, the thing that you were just alluding to.
Uh-huh.
He did. He said, those of you who are fans will dig it. If you hated it, you'll still hate it. And it's being reported now that he said that he's turned about that entire statement. He's like, no, everyone will love it now. And that DC must have gotten to him. And I thought the same thing. I did. It's still on Facebook where I was like, this stinks of studio, blah, blah, blah. But in doing my due diligence for the podcast, I actually started looking around. And I actually just went to his Twitter page. Man, he's totally messing with us. He still thinks that you'll hate it.
No, the thing is, regardless of whether what he said was actually what he said, I still believe that statement is going to be end up being true. Because I think it's going to be a small amount of people that... Because think about it like this. A lot of people's problem with the movie was what they did with the characters. It wasn't whether it was a movie that they felt was put together well enough. It wasn't pacing. It wasn't editing. And plot holes we can all deal with when we really want to. And I got onto people who were going, oh, this plot hole, blah, 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 that ruined the movie for me. Because what I wanted to get across to some of the people that were trying to point out, like, oh, this happened. And so, man, you would let that go in any movie that you liked. You just didn't like this movie because it didn't approach the characters in a way that you appreciated. And that's fine. It took a chance. And it was going to have a percentage that was never going to like it. So, like, the people that were never going to like it, I think are still never going to like it. But there will be, like, a little subset of gray area people that wanted to like it but thought it was kind of a badly put together movie. I'm praying this part kind of brings, at least gets them out of Hawk and where they can enjoy the movie as much as we did. Because, God help us, we actually liked it.
Yeah, we did. And look, but here's a summation of the stuff on his Twitter account. Those of you who are fans will dig it. If you hated it, you'll still hate it. A fan wrote, Larry, I'm having a debate. Does this mean haters going to hate or, well, the movie is still bad? And he said the former. Another fan wrote, this is exactly what I was thinking. The Ultimate Edition is clearly for the fans. And he says, so obvious. Another fan said, oh, and yes, the BVS Ultimate Cut looks awesome, but Larry Fong is right. It's for those who enjoy the movie. It won't convert anyone. Larry says, exactly. Not so complicated nor controversial. Then he wrote, watch the Ultimate Edition again. Now believe everyone will love it.
I did hear that part,
Pre-order today.
I did hear that part, too. And the you said, like, the Africa stuff, the investigation stuff, that all gets cleared up, and, like, it doesn't feel choppy. It doesn't feel like you miss stuff. You don't have to employ headcanon nearly as much. The thing I'm curious about is the extended ending. That's the one that's actually got me really curious. Oh, you're just going to be kind and not tell me.
I know nothing.
Oh, well then, please, in the future, when you find out, because you inevitably will, be kind and don't tell me. We'll have this conversation in about 9 days.
I've seen several spoilers. I'm not saying anything.
I know.
There's another fan who says, hi, Larry, are there any scenes in the BVS Ultimate Edition that will be blowing everyone's mind? Larry says, yes, they've added snarky comedy humor comebacks to all of Batman's dialogue.
Here's a nude scene with Margot Robbie.
And he says, I have to sign off, but thanks to those of you who get it, you mean the world. Yeah, so he's obviously messing with people, and all these news sites are saying, like, oh, no, look at this. Like, he's clearly... Yeah, I thought that too, but that was based on an article I read. I didn't actually go to the Twitter feed.
Yeah.
Because they didn't say any of that in the Twitter feed. I mean, in the article, not the Twitter feed. This is, you guys got to be careful about what you're reading on the internet, man. It gets me too.
Yeah, you got to dig deep. The funny part, though, he has the ability to do that. Like, he has the standing to sit there and just screw with everybody because, the one thing no one ever said about this movie? Well, it was shot badly. Movie was gorgeous. I don't care who you were or what you thought was happening. The movie was gorgeous. Yeah. You just put that thing on mute and stare. And for some of you, I suggest you do put it on mute and stare because you're never going to like it.
Oh, man. So they have, Hot Topic has put out a picture of the Joker metal die-cast figure. And if you turn him around, you can see a dragon tattoo on his back. That looks very much like Jim Lee's All-Star Batman and Robin Joker.
Ooh.
All right?
Ooh. Quick little nod. I've been told the props department has just been laughing their asses off thinking, dude, it never made it into the movie. You're never going to know about this. But you will not believe the little nod they had on this little prop they made us make.
Yeah.
There was a lot of thought. A lot of love in there.
So Suicide Squad is going to be rated PG-13, as if we didn't know that already. It's being said that it's for sequences of violence and action throughout, disturbing behavior, suggestive content, and language.
Meaning you will get an Ultimate Edition of that as well.
Yay! I hope so.
Probably, about 10 months from now? 9-10 months from now? Comes out in August.
I'm down.
You'll probably get it in Marchish, Aprilish.
I'm down.
I'll own it. I mean, shit.
Oh, absolutely. There was something else I wanted to talk about real quick. And I loved it. I saw this and I didn't think about it for a while because I'm lame. Comic Book Debate on Twitter, at Comic Book Debate, put up a post that said, Avengers was the 6th film of MCU. Justice League will be the 5th film of DCEU. DC isn't rushing out their universe.
Okay, that part's fair. You know why it comes across as rushing, though?
Because everyone was in BBS.
Yeah. I mean, they squeezed him in there too. I've got no anyone who said, yeah, no, they made room for him and they put him in. Yeah, okay, I freely admit it. I was just so happy to see him. I didn't care. Clicking on emails, that's a fine expositional tool for me. Whatever.
Sure. Yeah, but I had not even thought about that. But I started thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, Man of Steel, BBS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. Yeah, number 5 is Justice League.
No, and that's accurate. And if you decide to exclude Incredible Hulk, it's still number 5, and many people do.
Right. Incredible Hulk's canon. Sorry, Thunderbolt Ross.
I know.
Civil War.
I know.
Which, by the way, we don't hate. Stop telling people we hate it, MCU cast and fans of MCU cast. I like it better than Thor.
We will go on record saying we like this movie.
I liked it better than Thor, which I in turn liked better than Incredible Hulk.
Right.
I liked Civil War better than Iron Man 2.
That's not saying much.
I
liked
okay.
it just fine.
I have boredom issues, but that was about it.
I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. But aside from that, what what the MCU got to do that DC is not getting to do is tease us. I mean, there were teasers throughout the first few movies before we actually knew, oh no, seriously, we're going to do an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
It had not been an established business policy to actually do that.
Right.
So we got to go watch this movie and think, oh man, what if they pull all these guys together? Well, we're watching BBS and you get to the end of that, spoilers, just in case. You get to the end of that movie and they basically give you the mission statement and discuss the preliminary foundings of a Justice League. We all know where we're going, and that's because we've been spoiled by MCU and the Avengers. It felt like it took forever. It felt like you were trying to wake up every day on Christmas Eve when the MCU was doing what they were doing. Here,
yeah.
I mean, it's Christmas at 9:00. You've had breakfast, and you the gifts are in the other damn room. They are. And you're wondering how fast you can actually eat scrambled eggs. Yeah.
Oh.
I think there's a small perceptive difference.
Yeah. So, Jared Leto was talking about the Joker. Mm-hmm. He says, the only villain who may be more infamous than the Joker is the devil.
That may be right.
He said, the Joker is an icon, a legend, the baddest of the bad, and seems to be having the most fun. Hard not to be a fan of that. I knew I was going to have to dive deep and go to a place I had never gone before. David Ayer and he sat outside Ayer's house and talked, and it was clear he wanted to make something really different. He wanted to break some rules, and that's very compelling. I got the sense he was on a mission. This wasn't just a movie for him.
Oh, that's neat.
I don't think he's right though. I think Hitler might be more infamous than the Joker.
Not as a figurative villain.
You know, I mean,
there are figurative and
Hitler may be more infamous
villains
than the devil.
And yeah, actually, that's probably accurate.
Right.
I would like to see the stats on world religions versus people who have taken a history class, but there's a real chance you're right about that. But if you take out corporeal villains and just go to villains that have never been actually instantiated, I'm just going to go with figurative villains here.
I mean, if you say, hey, will you stop slurping your drink? You're done. It's over. There's no more drink. Just stop slurping. They go, all right, Hitler. They don't say, all right, devil, or all right, Joker. All right, Hitler. Don't like the fact that someone's not wearing a belt? Hitler.
I don't think I hear that used as often as you're saying.
Oh, everyone always talks like people. That's like the first thing anyone throws out at you. Like, oh, you're Hitler. Trump is Hitler. No, he's not. He's an idiot, but he's not Hitler.
I mean, I see where you're coming from, but it's not that deep right now. Not saying it may not get there. If he releases a book called My Struggle, we're going to have a real conversation.
I heard someone say, Obama's liberal Hitler. I went, whoa, what?
How do those terms go together? I'm confused.
It's like both sides use it ineffectually.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I think Hitler's a little.
You may be right.
I think he wins.
You may be absolutely right.
He wins the villain award.
You may actually be right about that. I can't think of an example to actually top it. I really can't.
I know. So apparently Suicide Squad is going to be huge at Comic-Con. They're going to have cast appearances, signings, a real-life recreation of the Bel Rev Penitentiary. Apparently, I'm just going to read what this says, because I don't know. The festivities begin well before Comic-Con, with DC's Squad Up Thursday cosplay contest, which will invite you to dress up like your favorite squad member and upload it to Instagram with the hashtag Squad Up Contest. And let's see, there will be one winner for each main character, 11 winners total, who will all receive an all-expenses-paid trip to Comic-Con next month. Then at the actual con, cast members will be available at the Suicide Squad booth to sign autographs, take pictures with fans, and the Hard Rock Hotel will be turned into a real-life Bel Rev, complete with a Harley Quinn tattoo parlor and VR experience in which fans get to fight alongside their favorite anti-heroes in a scene from the film.
Jesus.
Right?
This is San Diego, right?
Yeah. San Diego Comic-Con.
Only
July
SDCC.
21st to the 24th. Suicide Squad hits theaters August 5th.
Dear Lord. They've been planning that for a while, too. That is extravagant.
Yeah.
And I would do every single thing you just named.
Go get you a duster, Captain Boomerang.
Hell yeah. I'll get me
There's some cosplay
henna
shit you gotta
tattoo
do.
with the thing, and yes, sir, I would.
So, you know Rick Famuyiwa, the guy that just got the directing gig for The Flash?
Oh, yeah.
He put up a tweet. He put up a picture on his Twitter account. At Rick Famuyiwa, went to DC Comics and entered the Speed Force. Almost lost myself, don't remember much, but had this when I emerged. There is a new 52. He's got a new 52 Flash action figure. He's got a DC Comics Icons Flash action figure. A statue of the Flash standing on top of Gorilla Grodd. A Funko Pop Flash action figure. Check out the other swag, though. The Flash Omnibus by Jeff Johns, 2. The Flash Omnibus by Jeff Johns, 3. The Flash by Jeff Johns, Volumes 1 and 2. The Trial of the Flash the Silver Age. DC Comics Classics Library, The Flash of Two Worlds. Flash, The Return of Barry Allen by Mark Waid. Jeez. Final Crisis... I mean, I can't even read all these.
This cat's doing his reading.
I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It's taking Dave this long to count.
Yeah,
apparently the number is that high.
I count at least 35 graphic novels. I can't read all the titles. It's on his.
I thought you were going to say like at least 15 No.
I can't even see all the titles. One of those might be I'm looking at my own. One of those might be a DC Comics encyclopedia. Not entirely sure, but there's a lot of Jeff Johns floating around out here.
Well, that's probably a good place to start. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if he goes in and screws it up, it won't be because he didn't have the proper literature.
Right? So,
we know you own the books. It's on you now, buddy.
Yeah. So, James Wan is in the news a whole lot. You remember James Wan, right? The director of
Aquaman?
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? By the way, I forgot to mention this. Today is Roland Smoker's birthday, and we put it up on our Facebook page. Go check out our Facebook page. We put stuff up there, a fair amount. Facebook.com/DC on screen. Woo. But Roland Smoker's birthday, he's a loyal listener, fan of ours, friend of ours. Mm-hmm. And it's his birthday, so happy birthday, Roland. I meant to mention that up at the top of the show, but I did not.
Hey, buddy.
I'm lame. So yeah, James Wan is in the news a whole bunch. He's talking to Steve Frosty Weintraub over at Collider about why superhero movies are popular. He says, I think a big part of it is because we're finally at the point where we can actually tell these larger-than-life stories and have the technology to make them work. That's one factor that we can create these whiz-bang visuals to go with the story, and ultimately superheroes say a lot about the society we grow up in. Pretty much all the good superheroes have some kind of social commentary about why they are who they are. It teaches values, and so it's a very important thing. On one hand, it works on a surface level because it's super incredible to watch from a visual feast standpoint, but on another level, it works on a very human level. It works on a very human, emotional level, and I think it makes it fun for us. He says, let me pose a question Do you think people are having superhero fatigue? I don't know what this Frosty guy sounds like, so I'm just going to make up a voice. Mm-hmm. I think that yes and no. I think there are certain characters that the audience is a little bit, I don't want to say tired of, but you can't keep on telling the same story, and I think one of the reasons why, and Juan says, which one of the characters is that? I don't want to say because some of these people, you know what I mean.
I'm loving this so much.
You're not the one getting interviewed. You can always censor yourself out. What I'm saying is, I think one of the reasons why the Marvel movies have been so successful is that they flipped each film on its head. Like The Winter Soldier was a 70s political thriller. It's just different kinds of stories. There's an element where you need to flip it on its head, and you need to reinvent it. That's very true. If your franchise has been around for a while, you have to find ways to keep it fresh, and I totally agree with you.
That is just fantastic. And now he just pets Kermit on the head and says, that's a good boy. Hi-ho. Here's a treat.
Hi-ho.
Yeah.
Thank you for sitting down with me today, James Wan.
Look, Miss Piggy.
So James Wan was actually... he was also asked...
I enjoyed that much more than my voice would let on. I was fascinated.
I wasn't sure you'd be down for that.
I was absolutely down for that. That made sense. Plus, it somehow managed to get across the level of condescension I think Juan was really trying to get across himself. Yeah. I mean, you could probably edit out your own comments if you want to, because I wouldn't want to suggest it, but it's your interview, so are you writing in pen or like pencil?
Yeah, I'm not saying he was being condescending to the guy. It seemed a lot nicer when I read it quietly.
It might have been absolutely cordial. It just seemed like he was trying to leave him a door on the way out.
Yeah. In regards to DC Shakeups that we keep hearing about, James Wan says, to be honest, it's not as dramatic as the press is making it out to be from what I'm seeing. And right now I'm seeing everything as more an outsider looking into this box. So from that perspective, it's really cool that it's not crazy dramatic. I think it's great. While Juan mentioned he hasn't really seen the Shakeups, he has been working closely with Johns on Aquaman. Different interview. Do you want to hear about what he has to say about his villains?
Yeah.
He says, I gotta say, one thing I love about the Aquaman world is all the really different, really interesting characters. They are interesting characters, including the villains. I'm not going to tell you which villains, plural, I'm going to be playing with, but they're super cool. They're very larger than life, but they're unique.
Like, you almost developed a new phrase in, like, Aquaman world, like, oh, it's so super coral.
Super coral?
Yeah.
That was just me screwing it
up.
Is
that, you like that? Oh, it's totally coral.
No. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That
Jason.
dinner was amazing.
You,
it was straight coral.
No, not giving up, huh? So did you know that James Wan he actually had a choice between the Flash and Aquaman?
And he went with Aquaman.
Yeah, and since the last time was so good with what I did before with the voice, I'm going to do a different voice because I don't know Mike Ryan, what he sounds like. Mike Ryan at UProxx. I have no idea what he sounds like.
Sure.
So I'm just going to do something. This is Mike Ryan. When I talk normally, it's going to be James Wan.
Right.
Is it fair to say about Furious 7 your upcoming Aquaman doesn't happen? Are those the dots to connect? I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of both. Before Furious 7, I had made The Conjuring for Warner Brothers, so I'd already had a lot of conversations with Warner Brothers, and they knew very early on that I had said I would love to be a part of the DC Universe. And this is early on. This is back in the early days when The Conjuring was just about to come out. So they've been talking to me about that. So it goes back that far? Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. Was it always Aquaman? Or were other DC movies in the mix? It was. Well, oh geez. This would be a big tidbit. They asked me which of the two characters I'd be interested in, and it was between the Flash and Aquaman. A lot of people might have picked the Flash. That's interesting. How did you weigh those two? This is how I weighed it. For me, we've seen various versions of the Flash. There's a current popular television show. Exactly, there's a popular show on TV, and there was a great one in the 90s. I watched every episode. Exactly, I loved that Flash. But the thing that ultimately pushed me towards Aquaman is I love the possibility of creating a whole new world. I've always wanted to do a world creation story and visually create this amazing, incredible, magical kingdom. And also, I love the fact that Aquaman is an underdog character. I love the fact that people like to make fun of him. I feel the bar is a lot lower and I can have fun with him. Like on Entourage. Yeah, exactly. Everyone makes fun of him, and I actually don't mind that. What it allows me to do, I think people are a lot less precious with him than, say, you were doing a Spider-Man or a Batman or whatever. There will not be a hashtag not my Aquaman hashtag. Not many people have an Aquaman. Maybe the Super Friends version? Exactly, that's exactly it. I felt like it allows me the freedom to just tell the story of the character I wanted to tell. And I think what I proved for myself with Fast and Furious 7, how I took on this massive movie and I was able to overcome the tragedy that befell the production, I think it really proved to everyone I'm capable of doing more than just horror movies. I humbly bow.
That's that. Also, Juan's right on point. I do wonder, though, if he had said, like, well, I think I'd rather work on The Flash, if they had intended to say, well, that position's been filled, but thank you for coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen employment traps work that way.
Yeah.
I've actually even done that one.
I guess so, yeah.
But it sounds like he has a pretty good idea of like what he wants to do with it. And he's deadly accurate. Him and the gravelly voice guy are deadly accurate, I think, about you've got no bar, man. You've got no expectations. They're right. There's not going to be a that's not my Aquaman. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
We live in an infinite world almost. There will be people that say that's not my Aquaman.
Oh, sure.
Because inevitability, folks. Inevitability. But you just...
There will be people in their 50s and 60s who are like, that doesn't look like Aquaman. Aquaman looked different. He used to ride seahorses.
Right. Yeah. That's... And there have been some truly dark versions coming out of the books in the last 15 years or so. There's been some mean ass motherfuckers come out of there. So if he's not mean enough, that you might get that.
Thank you, Peter David.
Yeah. If he doesn't have a hook hand, and he doesn't, obviously.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Fingers crossed.
That could be the whole point of the first movie.
Even though he doesn't have it in the comics anymore, so probably not.
So I guess not, but I don't know. I haven't gotten.
I liked it when he had that cool liquid hand that could morph into different things.
Isn't that neat? Who knows? Who knows?
He's the Phil Coulson of the DC universe.
I haven't gotten to
and the Thor of the DC universe.
I haven't gotten to read the Aquaman Rebirth because they're all sold everywhere.
Oh, I'm not talking about Rebirth Aquaman. I'm talking about 15 years ago.
No,
Aquaman.
I'm trying to. I'm talking about whether they're going to continue that one-handed version and all that stuff. I made the terrible mistake of. Well, it was a cool idea though, and you never know what they're going to pick up in Rebirth. For God's sake, look what we picked up in Rebirth.
I guess not.
I made the terrible mistake of being out of the country because I just didn't time it. Well enough. I should have thought about when Rebirth was happening.
I told you it was a bad time.
I told
you it was a bad time for a wedding, but you didn't listen.
I should have thought about it. I was like,
'Cause
no.
I didn't even know about Rebirth. I was just like, no, series finales. And you were like, no, it's time.
I had tables. We had to set up stuff for the event. I had tables and props and all the kind of crap you have to have in your freaking, like, to transport and set up and decorate and all that stuff. I had that in my car, and I'm like traveling 30 minutes away to find a copy of Rebirth #1 from Jeff Johns. Like, no, some of you people have to have this. How do I find it? I finally found it. It was like 36 hours before I'm supposed to get married. I'm trying to hunt down this copy of this book.
Because you can have it all, ladies and gentlemen.
I found the book and I got married. Damn it. Now, I went on the honeymoon, and I'm not going to be able to get any of the first issues of like anything that's come out. But oh well.
Well, at least the first printings.
No, the first printings. I mean, yeah, I meant the first printings. Sorry. And they're going to do second printings for anyone else who's thinking, oh, you just got to wait a few weeks. That's all.
All right. Do you want to jump over to TV?
Let's do it.
All right. So we talked about last week that Superman is officially going to be on the first 2 episodes of Supergirl when it comes back. Since the announcement, though, fans of actor Matt Cohen, I don't know him from Adam, though. Matt Cohen, fans have been campaigning for him to get the role. He's apparently known for being on Supernatural as a young John Winchester, dad to lead characters Sam and Dean. He looks like Superman. He does. He looks he looks more CW Superman than Tom Welling. And that's saying something. Because Tom Welling is CW Superman, like literally.
Nope, I admit. I freely admit that guy's got exactly the right face.
Sadly, like my first thought was when I saw his picture, I was like, he does look like a low rent Henry Cavill. But yeah, no, they've started a hashtag Matt Cohen is Superman. Mm-hmm. There's no word on the casting though. Just thought I'd mention that if you guys are into that, I don't know. Go.
All right, he's on. He was on Supernatural last year, but I'm looking at his IMDb right now, and man, he's on General Hospital at the moment.
Oh, okay.
You might be able to get this cat for cheap.
Yeah, so
you can spend all your money on the effects, which is probably what you should do.
So you're saying Supernatural was a step up for this kid?
Yeah. Yeah, but it looked like he had
might be. My only concern is he looks a little young. He looks a little young to be Superman.
I don't know. But Superman seems perpetually stuck at about 30. So
30, 35, yeah.
Or as Kevin Smith calls it, 33, the Jesus age.
Right. Speaking of folks coming over to Supergirl, apparently they're bringing in Lena Luthor, Lex's kid sister.
Oh. Well, there's a pull.
Yeah, I mean, she was in Smallville.
Oh, well.
So... She was in Smallville. She was in 2 episodes of Superboy in 1991. Carr's best friend in Supergirl Cosmic Adventures.
Wow. You were naming everything I've never been able to watch.
Right?
You're just naming like everything that's a blind spot for me.
Well, Cosmic Adventures was a comic book.
Oh, sorry.
She was introduced
That's how deeply I don't know that one.
Yeah. She was introduced in 1961 Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane, number 23. In this iteration, though, they're describing her as sexy and smart and determined to get what she wants, a woman between the ages of 25 and 35, arriving in National City to get away from the shadows of her older brother.
That is like everybody on Supergirl.
I know, right?
There are nothing... I don't want to say this. I shouldn't put it as absolute, but there are a lot of empowered female characters on Supergirl.
Uh-huh.
I dig them.
There's going to be more.
I mean, yeah. Pile them on the heat.
There are going to be more, because they are looking to cast lesbian police detective Maggie Sawyer.
Well, there you go.
Remember Maggie? She was in Superman the Animated Series. Remember?
Oh.
Dan Turpin's partner, Maggie.
Oh, wow.
And remember how TAS broke new ground without saying it? Like they actually had her injured, and she was in the hospital, and they had the lady that was there, and everyone just kind of assumed it was her sister, and totally wasn't her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't remember if it was the wife or the girlfriend, but yeah, I remember watching that, going, oh, "Did they really do that?" Okay,
yeah, they did.
All right.
She also showed up on Smallville, and yeah, that's so they're bringing her in. She's going to be the head of the newly formed Science Police, which just sounds lame. I don't even know what that means.
Hopefully, that's a placekeeper.
Hopefully, they're also bringing in a female head of Project Cadmus.
I gotta admit, though, I would like the Science Police more if they were police who were very focused on science and not If their goal was to use science for its greatest policing benefits rather than the other thing.
Yeah. But yeah, they're bringing in a female head of Project Cadmus, Serling Roquette, Girl Genius is what they're calling her here. Right. I don't know. Bringing in a lot of women. And some might pejoratively claim this character as a woman. I wouldn't, because I have class. Snapper Carr is coming to the show.
Hold on.
Just the name Snapper Carr makes me laugh.
Hold on. I gotta make sure I was thinking about the right person. Yeah, no, seriously, you mean Snapper Carr.
Uh-huh, Snapper Carr.
You mean Snapper Carr. You mean Snapper goddamn Carr.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, I will say this. Whatever they do...
teen mascot of the Justice League of America.
Yeah, the thing they brought in just to try to explain everything to everyone because...
the JLA needed a teenage proxy, I guess.
It needed someone to exposit to all the teenagers, and he would get your attention.
Right. And he snaps his fingers.
Yeah. He was like I seriously, a shiver went down my spine when he said that. But I will say this, being optimistic.
Uh-huh.
It literally does not matter what they do with the words Snapper Carr.
Uh-huh.
They cannot possibly do anything worse. Like, Snapper Carr could literally be a fish that someone keeps in her aquarium. That could be like Supergirl's favorite fish. And it would still be the best version of that character.
Okay, so in Supergirl, Snapper Carr is going to be a veteran journalist hired by Catco to shore up its news division. We've seen this kind of treatment before in Justice League, the animated series by Bruce Timm. Snapper Carr was a news journalist who was like man in the street reporting on the alien invasion in the pilot episode.
All right.
So, I mean, we've seen it before. He didn't snap. I don't remember him snapping.
Thank goodness.
I wouldn't mind him snapping. I wouldn't mind him being like, reporter and like snapping at people, like, come on, like snapping at interns.
If you're
come
doing
on,
the like, hey,
I need my coffee,
cameras, get them over here,
Yeah.
Dear Lord. Can't believe we're talking about
Gordon
Snapper
Ramsay
Carr.
of journalism. So, Gotham, we're jumping over to Gotham news. Gotham is looking for someone to play Vicky Vale.
Oh, okay.
She's going to be called Valerie, apparently, or she apparently so far is being called Valerie in the casting circles. But she's an ambitious young journalist.
Of course she is.
And she's going to be in her late 20s.
Of course she is.
So much for Bruce hitting that.
Silver's still your best chance.
Of course, I don't know. We've survived the Star Wars prequels, and
that's fair.
By God, Anakin did get with Natalie Portman.
That's fair. Someone will probably tell me that's not fair, but it sounds fair.
Robin Lord Taylor was just talking about how Penguin is going to be in the new season. He says, I think going into season 3, it's all guns blazing.
Yes.
And also, he's learned, having been at the top for the brief period, he learned now how much more difficult it is, and he severely overestimated his own abilities, and he didn't take into account the fact that when you're the king of Gotham, you have a giant target on your back in a way that you never did before. I think that's the most valuable lesson that he learned this season. So, yeah. Apparently, Corey Michael Smith, the guy that's playing the Riddler, he's campaigning because of Paul Reubens being Penguin's father in season 2.
Sure.
He's now campaigning to get Jim Carrey as the Riddler's father.
Oh, that sounds hilarious.
He might do it. Just, promise that Emma Stone's going to be on the show somehow.
Well, that'd be cool too. No, I the last time I saw Jim Carrey on a television show, it was The Office.
That was real weird.
And it really was. For a number of reasons. The weirdest to me was I had actually stopped watching The Office around that time. Like 9 or 10 months before, or maybe a year before he showed up. There was some episode when it was him and Holly, wasn't that her name? Where it just felt, it felt so detached from anything. I don't know. It was so strange. I kind of thought, man, I don't have time for this right now. And it was a slight time restriction. Like, with all the best that were, I would have watched it. But I didn't have time, and I wasn't going to force time for it, and it started feeling like it was really going off the rails. And there was one episode that came on where I went, you know what? I'm done. And me and you were joking about it, and I went, you know what? All right, tell you what. If they get Jim Carrey on the damn show, I'll watch this show again. Because at this point, I was like 6 months behind, and I'd missed probably like 18 episodes or something.
Before?
No, it really was before.
It
was before they even talked about having anybody on as a cameo. I said, you know what? Screw it. Tell you what, they get Jim Carrey on the show, I'll watch this damn show again. Because we'd been talking about it for so long that you were going, oh man, it got good again. And I was going, no, I don't have time. And I dug into my trenches. And then sure enough, guess who cameoed as possibly the, what'd they call him? The Autumn Strangler or something? Is one of the people that might have been.
I don't know. I don't remember. There was it was the Scranton Strangler.
Scranton Strangler.
But that was an ongoing bit where like Toby was at a trial and the Scranton Strangler and he thinks he knows who it is. That was an ongoing bit that played for like seasons and seasons.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a lead-in for But they were auditioning they were auditioning people to be. It was like the end of a season. It was literally was. I want to say season 7's finale where they
absolutely
they were auditioning people to be season 8's like replacement for Steve Carell in The Office. Not just as an actor, literally, and manager of that branch. And sure enough, he popped on doing what I remember being kind of close to a Fire Marshal Jim impression.
I don't think it was that. You're talking about Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color.
Bill,
I don't think it was anything like it.
Oh, it wasn't that. It wasn't that deep. It just sounded real. I don't know. I don't even know why I remember that.
It did, but only in the sense that every Jim Carrey character does.
That's fair
because they were all played by Jim Carrey.
But then, for God's sake, like James Spader gets up there and you go, "Oh no, that's going to be the guy that's going to be around next season." Yeah, we're not going to have season 8 starring Jim Carrey.
And it wasn't. It was it wasn't even that. It was James Spader. Just like they were like, he's the man for the job. We think is he somehow like charmed his way in, and then like we come back and like, nope, he charmed his way to the top. He somehow convinced their
Kathy
big
Bates?
boss to make him the big boss or something to give up her title or something. We're like, wait, what the hell just happened?
Like he got the job and looked around and went, no, I deserve a better job.
But, Robert California was that character's name.
It was.
Anyway, moving on. This is going to piss you off.
Oh.
I think. They are recasting Poison Ivy.
What, seriously?
Yep.
That little girl?
Yep.
You're right, that is going to piss me off. And by that, I mean, it is pissing me off.
She is going to be recast with the show looking for, quote, an actress in her late teens to assume the now series regular role of the would-be eco-terrorist.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Oh. All right, I'm not even going to comment. I've got to have some time to like cope with that.
I'll comment. I think the girl they've got is creepy as hell. They don't need to recast her at a different age. That's freaking weird. It kind of makes me wonder if they're actually jumping ahead in years on the show. Like
I would hope, because that's the only good. That's why I said I didn't want to comment. I want to come up with some reason this might be acceptable. That's about the only reason I can, off the top of my head, think of that this might be acceptable.
Well, David Mazouz, you throw a couple of lifts in his shoes, and he looks older already. He looks fine.
Oh shit, that kid's growing. You give him the summer, and he'll pretty much knock that out for you.
It could actually be like he's growing so much, and Selena, she's probably where she's got to stay. She's like 16. I don't really see her growing too much more.
She may not grow much more, but she doesn't have to.
But the girl who plays Ivy, she seemingly has not grown in quite a long time.
Yeah, she looks significantly smaller.
She looks very small, very young. They might have to. I mean, this might be a necessity. I don't want to be too mad at them, but I don't know. If they're jumping forward,
that's definitely one thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like they're going to jump forward because they just... Spoilers. They just...
Spoilers! For Gotham.
They just finished the season with like, Fish Mooney's back, biatch. And
right.
There's this weird Hush kid running around. There's David Mazouz number 2 running around.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with him, but it doesn't seem like they're going to recast both of them. It doesn't seem like they're going to necessarily jump in. And they can with everybody except the kids, especially the adolescents.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not being remiss here. I'm aware of the story of the headlines out there like, Doppelganger is going to cause problems for Bruce. I just thought it was so obvious it wasn't really worth even down.
That was the whole damn point of the season finale. That was the whole point of the last 25 seconds of that show.
Mm-hmm.
They're just filling time there. But, oh man, I hate that for that kid.
I know.
And look, if they're jumping ahead, well, like we've already said, that's one thing. But if they're just replacing her for the sake of replacing her because they're going to try to do a different story, you lost me. You lost me, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it. But... there's going to be that disconnect with me every time I see that character going, okay, what did you expect me to just forget?
Right. I don't know.
There's a 2 years with this girl,
not Poison Ivy,
and she was fantastic.
There's a possibility she's not really Poison Ivy. She might just be Ivy Pepper, and maybe there's another character who comes to know her named Pamela Isley.
That would work.
Introduced to like botany and shit through her.
Oh, that could work.
I don't know.
Even an older sibling that takes a turn. Anything. Just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't do the recast.
Yeah, I don't know. So
this is me begging. The sound of me begging.
This is the sound of begging.
Well done.
Hello, recast, my old friend.
Don't want to see you here again.
We all remember Kilmer and Clooney. Anyway, on
Clooney's
to the
hard to
Flash.
round. I'm not even going to try.
On to the Flash. Mark Aselio of TV Line in his Ask Aselio, I guess that's Aselio column.
We never get around. Who cares? Go for it.
I'm seeing nothing firm yet on Mirror Master being introduced, but here's a curious new breakdown to wrap your noodle around. For season 3, the CW hit is casting the major recurring character of Barry's slightly older, slightly geekier contemporary, a guy who is as smart as he is intuitive. As such, this newcomer doesn't buy Barry's nice guy routine and sets out to learn what he's hiding, all while concealing some secrets of his own. I don't know who that can mean. I'm the guy who's always sitting here. No. I'm just always sitting here going, it better be Cobalt Blue.
You've been saying that since
That doesn't even fit the description. That doesn't even fit the description of Cobalt Blue.
No, it doesn't.
He's not Barry's twin. He doesn't have magic. It's
nothing. Nothing even close.
It's like, you better be Cobalt Blue, you sons of bitches.
When are you gonna bring me in?
I don't know why. I think I just like Cobalt Blue because of the name. I'm not even that interested in the story.
Oh no, it's a fantastic name.
It's actually kind of a fantastic story, and I love how it plays into the Thawne Allen feud. But yeah,
hierarchy.
Oh, I think they should get to that at some point.
You got to have Mirror Master in here somewhere. You absolutely have to.
One would assume. They said that Mirror Master was going to be in season 2, and he wasn't.
Yeah.
I guess they just didn't have room, which I'm fine with. If they don't have room for it, I don't want them to shoehorn it in.
Right. Mad Hatter, for instance. That was a cute nod at the end of Gotham, but it didn't feel like we had any room for Mad Hatter. And if you'd stuck him into an episode somewhere, I think in that season I would have been kind of annoyed with you. So that works for me. Just here's a nod. We'll see you next season. Clayface. That was not acceptable. But
that was weird.
That was weird. And a waste. But hey, there's like 16 Clayfaces, so no reason we have to be done with him.
Right. Clayfi. Andrew Kreisberg. This is a story that bothers me, and I, Andrew Kreisberg talks about Caitlin's mother. He apparently said, we haven't met Caitlin's mom yet. We got a little talk between the two women, which will probably play out in season 3.
Do I remember this correctly?
Want another Donna Smoke.
Oh, okay. All right. But didn't it sound like they both kind of went, yeah, my mom's kind of cold?
Yeah.
And apparently one of them got superpowers and ended up being evil, and the other one just decided she would study real hard so she didn't have to talk to her mom too much. Mm-hmm. But it sounded more like than a Donna.
I don't know. I don't want this either.
You're done with mom storylines?
Yeah, if it's well done. Like, I didn't like Moira, so I mean, if it's done well, yeah. But I don't want another Joe's ex or whatever, Iris's mom.
No, that was a waste of time.
Donna. I don't want another Donna. I don't want another Moira. I don't know why they don't like. Nora's the only mom I like so far on any of these universes.
No, and you may be looking at more of her. So
I think I liked Cisco's mom. There was a Cisco's mom, right?
Cisco's bro? Yes. Cisco's mom? Don't remember.
Okay. So Stephen Amell wants to play Riddler in the movies. I don't know why, but that's out there.
Okay.
I say no.
I mean, I do too, but you know what? You've given us so much.
So
here's we owe him a couple things. That's all.
Mind-boggling stuff here. Apparently, Vixen is going to be a regular on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be our Vixen.
Okay, that is weird.
It's going to be a Vixen of the past, like a former Vixen. Someone who had the power before. So, yeah.
Could they just not afford her?
Well, okay.
Because she's going to do, like, Vixen Season 2 on CW Seed, is she not?
She is. She is going to do that, but,
okay, right,
well, they're saying that she's have, like, there are actually, like, legitimate problems with, like, getting her in there.
Okay.
Because she's doing so much shit. Like,
Fine.
her scheduling just isn't working out. She did
Happens
say,
all the time. No problem. Gotcha.
Right. She did say that she wants to play the character again. She's like, it's all based on what the capacity for the CW is, what my availability is. It's a lot of things, and Vixen's really special, so they want to find the right place for her. It says she might not return to Arrow or the Flash, but the character is coming, or a version of the character is coming to Legends of Tomorrow. But Magellan says, I'm open to any type of development of Vixen in live action. I think the fans are there, and they deserve to have this character. They want this character. She's really special and an important part of the DC universe. So I don't see why she shouldn't have the spotlight. But, you know, they're talking about how, like, in Legends of Tomorrow is going to probably be a previous version of her.
Yeah, okay. I mean, look, that happens all the time. She's got other stuff going on. She can't get over there. There's nothing you could do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Legends. You can kind of do whatever you want to. You can go back and just pull a previous character and, you know, change your costume a little bit, make it a little less nuanced, a little more... it's probably not going to be as cool of a costume, is what it's going to come down to. And, yeah, it'll still work.
Mm-hmm.
I'll still be happy to see her over there.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. I wish they could continue the story with the same girl we've been watching, but it can't be done. It can't be done. That's all there is to it sometimes.
Yeah. I'd be down for if they got like a teenage Constantine.
Yep.
You know, you can't get Matt Ryan, just grab some young guy and make him like before he's the sorcerer, we know kind of thing. The petty dabbler,
No, the
anyway.
con artist who like tricked them all into a bunch of drug-induced rituals.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Pretty much so he could trick someone else into bringing the drugs to the actual table.
Right. And he chalks the entire experience. He chalks the entire time traveling experience up to drugs.
Right. Right.
So, do you know the Mattel and Target DC superhero girls thing?
I know that superhero girls exist.
Yeah, they have like 5-minute videos online.
Mm-hmm.
They had a 30-minute special on, I guess, Cartoon Network or something. Oh no, on Boomerang. Well, yeah, that's Cartoon Network, isn't it? Or have they split that? I don't even know anymore. I'm so old, I don't know anything about cable television. But anyway, they're getting a new animated movie. They're getting a new animated movie that is going to be released on home video August 23rd. The film is called Hero of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the synopsis. Where can you find the most powerful and prominent super teens in the galaxy? Superhero High, of course. Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, Bumblebee, Poison Ivy, and Katana band together to navigate the twists and turns of high school and DC superhero girls. Hero of the Year. Produced by Warner Brothers Animation and DC Entertainment, the film will be distributed by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment this summer. These young superheroes discover unique abilities, develop powers, and combat an abundance of overwhelming, exciting, and awkward moments to master the fundamentals of being a hero one day at a time. Together, these 7 fearless superheroes prove that we all have the power to make the world a better place, even while school is in session.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I think we have mentioned before that for our particular demographic, probably not going to be your thing.
Yeah, but at the same time, one, if you're like me, which I am in our demographic, so F you, Jason.
Yeah.
You know what? I like those figures that Target puts out. I do.
Oh, the figure's fine. Just the actual the show
cool.
itself. I got nothing against it, but it is for young. It is skewed very young.
Sure, but we were talking the other day about how like Batman v Superman might not be for your kids. People our age have kids. We don't, but people our age do. So, if you have kids and you don't really want to show them BVS yet or Batman the Animated Series, because guys know that gets a little dark.
It does, and
you can show them
problem I've talked about it before, but the problem I had with trying to show my my nephews BTAS is it's paced pretty slowly. Mm-hmm. And that's not how things are done these days.
Right, but no, I sure. And it's got some solid voice acting here. Gray Griffin as Wonder Woman, Anais Fairweather as Supergirl, Mae Whitman as Batgirl, Tara Strong as Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy,
Nice.
Tila Dunn as Bumblebee, Stephanie Sheh as Katana. I mean, this is a pretty good cast, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, that's solid.
So I mean, I don't know. I'd actually be curious to see what our numbers would do if we actually did a review of any of that.
See how many 9-year-olds we have that listen to us.
Right. Oh, no, you'd have adults who are like, oh,
that's
can
not
I
true.
listen to this?
No, we'd see how many 35-year-olds we have that show their 9-year-olds movies and appreciated us saying they should watch this.
Right. Like, the closest this will come to being an R-rated affair is our review of it.
Right. Yeah.
So The Killing Joke is coming to theater, speaking of an R-rated affair.
Oh, that's so nice.
It will be shown one night only at movie theaters across the United States on Monday, July 25th. WB Home Entertainment is working with Fathom Events to bring this special event to fans. The movie will be showing at two different times, 7:30 and 10 o'clock. That's both p.m. At a variety of theaters. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 17th. This will come directly after The Killing Joke debuts at San Diego Comic-Con. Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, guys. Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill. That's all I'm saying.
So, yeah.
Rated R.
I know what I'm doing that Monday.
If we can find one, I mean, here in Alabama, a lot of times people they don't ever show things
That's
like
a good point. That's a good point. We'll probably have at least one theater.
So the British Board of Film Classification, though, listed a sneak peek at Justice League Dark as being among the special features for Batman: The Killing Joke on DVD.
Really? Like the live action?
So look, yeah. Well, I mean, no, the anime. It looks like we're getting an animated film based on Justice League Dark, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know about that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know what else animated Justice League thing is happening?
Go for it.
Well, we talked about it earlier this year. Justice League Action. This is going to be an 11-minute. They're going to have 11-minute episodes.
That thing.
And they're going to feature the voice talents of Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, James Woods, Diedrich Bader as Booster Gold, no less, and more. They have teased, a whole bunch of different characters. I couldn't see everyone on this screen because it was like in an auditorium, and they had to put up. I saw Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Nice. Someone who looks like the Riddler next to him, Dr. Fate, Shazam, Dr. Light, Mr. Terrific, Joker, Swamp Thing, Firestorm, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Big Barda, someone I couldn't tell, Harley Quinn, Hawkman, Lobo, and two more I couldn't make out.
Jesus.
Yeah, but Mark Hamill is playing Joker again, and Kevin Conroy is playing Batman again, so...
That sounds like when I'm describing to you, hey man, no seriously, you need to watch Young Justice. Like, oh, they've got this list of characters. Or when me and you were geeking out about, oh, seriously, Brave and the Bold. Look at all these people. Mm-hmm. Or generally when you're telling me about Smallville, and I'm going, I know, I hear your cries, and I will listen.
If nothing else, Smallville is a really fun Elseworlds.
Yeah,
that's all I consider it, but it's really fun at times. Most of the time.
Most of the time. Those first few seasons, you fight through. But after that...
when I went back and rewatched it, like, I found myself, like, pretty invested by, like, mid first season with a lot of the elements. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it. Not as good as I'd hoped it would be, but still not as bad as I'd remembered it.
That's still an improvement.
Yeah, I mean, it was...
You may have just absolutely verbatim described how I'm hoping a lot of people think of the Ultimate Edition of BBS.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what the thing is about Smallville? I'll tell you this. I'm going to get a lot of shit for saying this, probably.
Go for it, then.
It's better than Arrow and Supergirl. It's... Yeah.
Well, it can't be better till they've had equal time.
So far, it is better than...
So far, though.
So far.
That's a fair rule.
So far.
It's a fair rule.
That's all the news I got, man. That's all the news I got.
Yeah. Well, there were some TV spots for Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I forgot to mention that J.K. Simmons got totally jacked to play Commissioner Gordon in Justice League. Have you seen those pictures?
Did.
Have you seen? Oh,
that
my
is not
Lord,
the
that's
same
ridiculous.
dude.
I mean, he was already kind of ripped, but...
His arms are the size of my head.
Yeah. I mean, your head is kind of small, but yeah.
But it's still the same. But if you made my head a bicep, that would be a big thing.
That'd be impressive.
Especially for like isn't he in his late 50s?
He's 61.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is an impressive physique for a 61-year-old man. Just damn it. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna go back over because I think I missed some stuff.
No.
I do.
J.K. Simmons was one thing, but that was kind of a...
Apparently he's now shaved that big beard, so he just has the stash.
And fills the fuck out of a duster when he's hanging out on the rooftop talking to Batman?
Yeah, probably.
I'll bet.
I kind of get the idea that he's going to be doing more than that.
You got to imagine him looking at Affleck going, yeah, you want to hand over the suit? I can take over. No problem. Have you read the comics recently?
Yeah, let's do that story. Yeah, did you watch the Suicide Squad TV spots? Like, I didn't see a whole lot of new footage. Like, maybe a
just
glimpse
seconds.
at, like, one extra frame of Batman or in the Joker.
No, just seconds here and there, and I'm sure there's more than what we're seeing. There's just little bits. The part that really cracked me up was I'm not a hugger. I'm not a hugger, man.
I'm not a hugger. I'm not. That wasn't even funny. It was uncomfortable.
It was uncomfortable, but just in exactly the right way. Like in the way that I expect Will Smith to make that funny, and he damn did. Damn did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's new stuff out there. Oh, and the it's so intense was the thing that everyone got all excited about. Joker's one little line. You know what I like about this movie as it's coming up is every single little piece of new information we get about Leto's Joker. Everyone gets excited.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I'm going to feel differently in 3 months.
Maybe not. Or maybe you'll feel completely differently. Maybe you'll hate him.
I could possibly hate him, but I admit
we'll take a shit in our top drawer and close it and be like, you were right, MCU cast.
Call it a day. Then
Dreams
burn
dashed.
the house down. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about Suicide Squad, man.
But yeah, this movie is exciting, and the fun thing about it, aside from the fact that a lot of the dialogue, it's an ensemble cast, and it's a versus thing, but the ensemble that is versus whatever the hell we're versing, I don't know what we're versing. I have no idea what we're fighting right now. And the ensemble part itself has been kind of fun.
Yeah, there was a bit in one of the TV spots for Suicide Squad where like. She was like, Enchantress is in the war room, and she's touching some dude, and he's going, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me.
Just don't
pulling a brack.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 don't touch me.
Yeah, I enjoy that too.
Don't touch me.
And she kind of looks at him in this alien manner. It's fun. She can't understand his request. It's a gorgeous moment. Looking forward to this film. So hard. So very hard. If there's a sleeping pill I can take that will like last 3 months, I would probably take it. I'd wake up to a ruined marriage and no job, but and I assume I wouldn't own my house anymore. But at least I'd be able to see the film
Laying
immediately.
in a pile of your own feces. Sorry, what now?
Dead dog. All that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'd be able to go see the movie immediately. I'd have to keep like $12 in my pocket. Strapped under a sock.
Ticket prices have gone up to $15. No!
Yeah. They took everything else.
Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
My atrophied muscles are trying to bribe one of the I don't know how I'd make it to the actual theater, by the way, because I've atrophied for 3 months and I have no car at this point. So I don't know how I'm actually going to get to a theater. But then I'm trying to explain to someone I've been in a self-induced coma for 3 months. Please let me in for $12.
Right.
I'm sorry, sir. We can't let you in.
You're trying to buy an Uber with Beatles pics.
Yes, I am.
I have these Beatles pics. You see?
Yeah. See, they were Beatlesy.
Oh man,
it's a sad situation. I'll have to.
Would you like a Beatles record from Japan?
I'll have to. I have these things. Damn it!
These are a few of my favorite
and I'm
things.
Pretty sure I would trade them for the Suicide Squad at this point. That's not true. I don't know. Oh, that's a conversation.
I don't know, man.
That's a conversation that would tear me apart at night. Would I like the import of that single from Japan, or would I like to see this movie? Mm-hmm. Or would I like to go, wash dishes somewhere for a few hours that night and pray they gave me enough money and just tips to go back and watch that movie?
Right.
I say I keep my Beatles albums and go perform whatever act I can. Dishes or worse.
Right.
Walk back in the theater at 10 o'clock.
Oh. I would have a sign on the street that said, need money for Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Must see Suicide Squad. Please help.
Yeah, or just like run out of room intentionally. Need money for suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill yourself. Like, good.
You know what's sad though? As it wouldn't. I wouldn't make it 3 months though. I after about a month and a half at worst, you would think to yourself, "Damn it, he's done it." And come find me in my house with several foreclosure notes on the front of it. And wake me up out of the self-induced coma and demand that I go find at least a temporary job because, for God's sake, I won't be able to see the movie.
Right. Well, I mean,
and
I would have already woken you up and been like, damn it, man. It would have taken exactly a week of coma before I woke you up and be like, man, we got to do the podcast. What are you doing? Get your ass out of this coma.
Your dog hasn't eaten in 4 days. You know what? I'm taking her. I'm taking the dog until you realize what you've done. Story, come here.
I'm about to tell a story that she can effectively eat your face now.
Yeah.
Get up and do this podcast with me. I don't want to have to recast.
She'd be timidly looking at my skull going, I love him, but I really have to eat. And he's just sitting there.
I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try when I'm recasting you. I'm going to be like, I'm your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss. And a big black guy's going to be like, hey, what's up? With the deepest, sexiest voice you've ever heard.
You're going to cast Shaft.
I'm going to cast your exact opposite.
And I will be honored.
Call him Jason Goss. Jason Goss will be the name of just co-host. It's not a name anymore. It's more of a title.
A placekeeper.
Right.
Yeah.
As I mourn your coma. Mourn you in your coma.
And hope that I don't wake up all Walking Dead.
Right. All right, so I think we've gone off the rails a bit.
Yep.
And, I don't think we have anything else to talk about. I think we're done.
No, I'm pretty sure
happened?
we've beaten that horse.
Oh.
And found a few other sheep and lambs and maybe hit them a couple times as well.
That's what we do.
I said bad names at a pig.
We are DC On Screen. You can find every episode at dconscreen.com. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher or wherever pods are caught or whatever. We're on Twitter at DC On Screen. We're at Facebook /DC On Screen. Not DC On Screen, but just DC On Screen. If you're interested in a similar podcast about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, go check out our friends Matt Carroll and Jeff Randall at the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. Go over there. Tell them that we said we didn't hate Civil War.
Rectify
my soul that they think
rectify this weird situation.
Rectify. Yeah, so we didn't. Anyway, I guess we'll be coming back next week with more news at the very least. We should probably start doing some other kind of reviews or something.
Oh, we have some stuff coming up, but it's not next week exactly.
I'm starting to get antsy.
I know.
We need more episodes.
I know. We do. It's a couple weeks though. It's a couple weeks.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. Until next time, keep some DC on your screen.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Constant Contact's marketing tools and technology make it easier than ever to drive big results for your small business. From list growth and email to SMS and social media, it's all powered by advanced automation and AI capabilities that help you grow your business more effectively. Plus, we've got the reporting you need to see what's working and what's not, so you can adjust along the way. Constant Contact is the digital marketing solution you need to keep up, excel, and grow. Try it for free today at ConstantContact.com.